Don't make that mistake, kids. It's escape, not F1. Freaking crap! Greetings and welcome to February's video. So for this video, we're going to be continuing the streak of laptops and desktops that I had during my childhood. And yes, there's more on the way, kids. Anyways, today we have a laptop that my father purchased back in 2002. Again, this is not the original unit. The original unit has been lost to the sands of time, i.e., well, somewhat murdered by me. Shh, don't tell anyone. I hid the body under a bridge. No, I'm kidding. Anyways, yeah, long story short, my dad had one of these laptops. He bought it for about $3,000 back in 2002, and I brutally murdered it around 2009-ish. Trying to disassemble it because that's when I was trying to teach myself how to take notebooks apart. And long story short, I failed miserably. Now, if you do want to see the original laptop, I do have videos of it on my channel. I will make them unlisted so that you guys can view them. I was basically installing Ubuntu 8, and if you really want to hear my quirky, eccentric 12-year-old voice back then, feel free to check the videos out. I mean, nothing stops you. But if you want to see the original unit, check out those videos. They were recorded with a toothbrush, figuratively speaking, because, yeah, I was using just a little crappy Logitech webcam to record back then in 2009. Anyways, let's see what the star of the show is today. So, we have a Toshiba Portégé 3500 laptop computer, but this is not just any laptop computer. This is one of the first tablet PCs. And it was around 2002, end of 2001, early 2002, when Bill Gates introduced the tablet PC standard, i.e. a computer that was a laptop, but could be folded into a tablet, just like that. And these are called swivels, twists, whatever you want to call it. These days, you know, you have the foldable laptops, the two-in-ones, but these were the grandfathers to that. These were the grandfathers to two-in-one laptops. This is what you had before you had your Lenovo IdeaPad Yoga or ThinkPad Yoga, whatever the hell they call them these days. This was the precursor to that. So let's take a look at the laptop a little bit in detail and see why this was one of the ultimate laptops to get in 2002, if you could afford it. So on the front of the laptop, if I can get it in the viewfinder here, got the battery release here, IR infrared, indicator lights, which it's a little hard to see because they're sort of dark, but there's one for power, battery, hard disk activity. I believe this is the AC indicator light, but then there's one here, and yes, folks, you'll see why this is important a little bit later and why this was pretty impressive for 2002. Lid latch here, release. Battery release latch, as customary on Toshiba laptops from back in the day. You've got a physical volume wheel here, which I always loved. My A305 S6905 had one, including the cursed one that we took a look at last month. TRS jacks for headphone out, in, and microphone in. And on the right-hand side, or sorry, the left-hand side, again, I get left and right confused sometimes, we have an SD card reader. Does not support SDHC because SDHC did not exist in '02. But then we have this. Look familiar? Yes, kids, this laptop has built-in Wi-Fi. A laptop from 2002, before many laptops had built-in Wi-Fi, this one has it. No wonder it was so expensive. I believe it's only 802.11b, but still. 56K modem next to that, because in 2002 people still used dial-up. Card bus slot here, or PCMCIA, supporting card bus, I should say. Again, brownie points if you can tell me what PCMCIA stands for. I actually do know. Okay, fine, I'll just tell you. Personal Computer Memory Card International Association. Had to know that for my A+ exam. Fine, I'll teach you some A+, I'll give you some A+ know-how. What's also interesting is you have a CF card slot here. So what would be interesting to see is if you could actually boot into something like Windows 98 or any other Windows 9 X OS off a CF card. I don't know if that's connected to the hard drive controller, but or to the IDE controller. But if it is, you could probably boot into Windows. You could probably use that as your hard drive. You got 10100 Ethernet back here. 2 USB 1.0 ports here, DC in jack here, and behind this flap, forgot to mention, you've got VGA out with the screws, always nice, cooling vent here. On the right-hand side, we just have the hard drive under here, which I have swapped out for an SSD. This originally had a 40 gigabyte hard drive, which died. It was a Toshiba drive, who's surprised. Got the Kensington lock here, and one of the speakers here. Or I believe that's actually the subwoofer. The actual speaker is right here where my finger is. Go ahead and open the laptop up. We'll take a quick look at the inside of the laptop, and then we're going to go ahead and go on with our project. And you guys have seen me replace hard drives before, so it's really not, that's all this laptop really needed, so I figured I just wouldn't show it on camera. Pentium 3 mobile sticker here, designed for Windows XP. Got your touchpad here, cat's taking a piss, just like James Rolfe said. Got your left and right mouse buttons here. You've got a 10 keyless QWERTY keyboard here, very scrunched down, but the keys do have decent key travel for a scrunched keyboard, so Toshiba did a decent job with that. One thing I cannot stand about these older Toshiba keyboards, the biggest pet peeve I have, well, one of the biggest pet peeves I have, is that they put the Windows key way up here. And, yeah. So if you want to hit, and I use the Windows key quite a bit, like if I want to do Windows R, I got to put my finger up here and go to R rather than just Windows R. So it just makes it that much more of a pain in the ass to say Windows R or, you know, Windows space, you know, something like that. You know, use your keyboard shortcuts, you know, when you're trying to get work done. Got a single mono speaker down here. If I can get the camera to show it, there we go, where my finger just was. And then we got the LCD panel up here. Believe, again, I'm terrible at math, but I believe this is a 12.1-inch TFT display with pen support. If I can get the pen out. Come on, there we go. So this is what the stylus pen looks like. It's got the Toshiba logo. It's got a button on it, which is for right-clicking. There's the tip. Toshiba logo there. This is before Wacom. I believe this precedes Wacom digitizers, so I'm actually not quite sure what kind of digitizer this uses, being an early tablet. But I'll look it up. If you could probably just look it up on the model number. There's the Control-Alt-Delete button there. Page up, page down buttons. This is, I believe, the oh no, that's the screen orientation button that reorients the screen. Again, this doesn't have an operating system on it, and that's what we're going to be doing today: is installing an operating system. Take a look at the bottom. I forgot to show that for a second. So there's the, if I can, sorry, wrong way. There's the information sticker, Portégé 3500 system unit, S8, or sorry, SB. So here's the original specs. Pentium 1330 megahertz, so it's 1.33 gigahertz, 12 times, I guess that's what the CD-ROM speed is, even though this doesn't have an internal CD-ROM drive. 512 megabytes of RAM, which has been upgraded to a gigabyte, 40 gigabyte hard drive, and of course there's the serial number and whatnot. If you really want to look that up, I don't think it's going to return anything, but you're free to waste your time as you please. If you want this Windows, if you want this Windows XP tablet PC key, go for it. I have a disk, but I have not been able to find installation media that will accept that key. So, yeah, kids, we're going to be a little bit naughty in this video, so I would not advise telling Santa Claus, if you believe in Santa Claus, what we're going to be doing in this video, or else you might get, well, worse than a lump of coal in your stocking. You might get physical, you know, literal crap in your stocking. Yeah, Santa will take a dump in your stocking, so don't do this, kids. Anyways, let's get on with the project. I've rambled on long enough about the laptop. I told a little bit of a backstory and how this was that my father had this laptop. He used it for his work. So let's go ahead and install Windows on it. Okay, so I've got the Portégé 3500 all ready to go here. We're going to go ahead and hit the power button. And we'll go ahead and hit F1 to go into setup. Oh, sorry, forgot. It's escape. Whoops, my bad. Yeah, don't make that mistake, kids. It's escape, not F1. I forgot. You got to tap escape to trigger an error so you can get into setup. I always forget that with Toshibas. There we go. Okay. Yeah, because it's literally has nothing to boot off of, so... Alright, so I'll go ahead and put the CD in. Alright, so go ahead and take a look at the specs really quickly here in the BIOS. Forgot these older Toshibas are a little bit confusing, and the BIOS is definitely not something to write home about. Anyways, so we've got a gigabyte of memory, no passwords have been set, thank God. Battery save mode is turned off, but you see there's the other options here, just if you pause if you want to see those. Internal pointing device, why would you, I mean, unless you're using an external mouse, this doesn't have PS2, so you better have a USB mouse handy. We like to set it on eIDE, Enhanced IDE, because that was a big thing back in '02, was Enhanced IDE. You know, it's better than, because SATA didn't exist back then, kids, for those of you youngin' viewers. Power on display, really nothing there. We have panel stretch, again, something you youngins don't know about, but for those who don't know, older laptops, if you only saw like this portion of the display being used, you'd enable panel stretch, and that would fix the problem. We want it to boot. What are the other options here, anyways? I think, is it page up, page down? Oh no, that goes to the next page. I forgot exactly which ones change the values. I'm gonna have to do some reading. Sorry. Skip space backspace. Okay, so we've got resume or boot. Yeah, okay, so that's just auto resume. CPU cache, really nothing. And we got level 2 cache. You can enable or disable it. We're going to leave that enabled. This is speed step here, dynamic CPU frequency, also known as speed step. You can throttle the CPU speed. We're going to have it dynamically switchable. We do not want auto powered on or wake on LAM. I do want it to boot off the CD-ROM drive, which we're going to do, but you can change the boot priority here. One thing about Toshiba is the boot priority is preset. So you actually have no way to set your own boot priority. It's just presets by Toshiba, which I never liked. But anyways, you can do PXE booting if you want. I already set the date and time because I put a new CMOS battery in here. Device config set up by OS. This is for the PC card, so like if you wanted to change PC card settings, you would change this to manual. You have USB legacy emulation, floppy drive emulation, built-in LAN, you can enable or disable it. There is our hard disk there, which finally got detected. I tried using a CF card, or not CF card, SD card to IDE adapter, and that did not work. The BIOS would not recognize it. I also tried using a MSATA, or not MSATA to, PCI, a mini PCIe SATA to IDE adapter, and that also did not work. So I had to end up importing a PATA SSD from Japan to actually get this to work. Anyways, go ahead and hit escape. We're going to say, oops, no, I actually do want to exit without saving. So on these older Toshibas, to get to the boot menu, you press F12 and then simply use the arrow keys, select which device you want to boot off of. I've got my external drive connected. Go ahead and let the drive spin up. And there we go, we're booting off the CD. Now, amazingly, these older Toshiba, for an older Toshiba from 2002, I did not think, this was another problem I encountered with one of these things, but what happened was, you'd think for a laptop from '02 with a card bus or a PCMCIA card slot, you would think you'd have to use a PCMCIA optical drive to get it to boot. Not the case with this laptop, because, you know, Toshibas are generally kind of picky with what hardware they'll play nice with and what hardware they won't play nice with. But in this case, it didn't like half the hard drives I put in. I could not get it to boot from any PCMCIA CD-ROM drives, but as soon as I plugged in my verbatim USB 3.0, yes, USB 3.0, not 2.0, external optical drive, what do you know? It actually booted off the CD. So yeah, I really wish I had recorded the troubleshooting I did, because the problem was I literally just was stressed out from work. As you guys know, I have a really stressful job, and I'm in the process of trying to get a better job, but yeah, it's, let's just say I have a really rigorous supervisor who's just, I mean, again, there's no resentment or hard feelings here, but, it's just stressful, let's just put it that way. So, and I think we've all been there at least once, being, a little bit stressed out at work, and, so, anyways, but it's okay. I mean, I've been at the company for a good solid year and a month, and, it's been a good year. It's just time for me to move on, Anyways, so, yeah, this is pretty much the Windows XP setup. Now, here's what I don't want to see. The BIOS detects the hard drive, right? How much are you willing to bet that Windows is not going to have the drivers for this hard drive. I mean, if the BIOS sees it, that's one thing. So theoretically, it should be detected. But something tells me we're going to run into a problem here because, you know, one of the themes you've run into on my channel is something going wrong every single freaking time I make a video. And, you know, there's going to be more to come, obviously. I mean, I know sometimes everything goes right. That's the thing that makes this channel so interesting, is sometimes, a lot of times, you know, things go according to plan, but sometimes they don't. And I know everyone looks forward to those videos where things do not go according to plan. So, let's see what we get here, kids. Because I'm almost expecting that error message to pop up saying Windows did not find any drives and you have to, you know, or, you know, and the installation's aborted or something like that. Because I'm literally expecting it. Fun fact for those who don't know, I actually, Toshiba hard drives, the two laptop hard drive brands that have died on me the most, mostly just 2.5-inch drives for laptops, are Toshiba drives and Hitachi drives. Some people have said that they really like Hitachi drives. Me, I can't stand them. Yeah, I can't stand Hitachi hard drives. I have had numerous Hitachi drives die on me. You know, I put it in, I install Windows, 3 days later, click, 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 the drive's dead. Toshiba's worse. Toshiba drives have died on me so much, I've had to replace countless Toshiba hard drives. So they make decent computers, yet they can't perfect their hard drives correctly. Anyways, I don't see any disk activity, which is not, well, hard disk activity is what I should say. I see CD-ROM activity, but it's still loading the files off the CD, but let's see. If this doesn't detect the hard drive, I swear somebody is going to get punched in the face. I know it's going to happen. I literally know what's going to happen. And I'm going to need some booze. Rolling Rock in particular. Anyways, well, I'm just going to cut here because this is going to take a while. So I'm just going to cut, and we'll come back when this is done. Wow, it actually detected the hard drive. I'm a little bit surprised here, because I was almost expecting, after all the tribulations I had trying to get a drive to actually be freaking detected by the BIOS, that this was not going to work. Anyways, continue. Please read carefully. Okay, and there's our drive, 30 gigabytes. Woo. Yeah, I put a smaller drive in here, but this is just Windows XP, so... Oh yeah, I forgot, because this is Windows XP pre-Service Pack 2, it gives us the option to format with FAT, but we are not going to do that. We're going to format NTFS Quick, because, well, you know, I mean, this drive came from Japan, but who cares? I mean, it's a blank drive, I hope. Hopefully it doesn't have, like, hentai on it or something. I hope not. Otherwise, this video would get taken down by the YouTube community guidelines mafia. Anyways. Alright. So I think you guys have pretty much seen this, well, you know what, actually, I'll tell a story, because one thing I like to do, as a lot of you guys know, I like to tell stories while the progress bar is going. So I'm going to tell a brief story about what I did on the original Portégé 3500 that I unfortunately ended up being homicidal towards. Yeah, I know I'm a bad person and I should go to jail and whatnot, but anyways. Yeah, this is going to fall. Hold on a second. See, this is not exactly going to plan, because the drive is spinning at such a high speed, it's going to fall off the chair. I got to put something there to support it, so I just don't want it to fall. Well, I guess it's okay as long as it's not, like, drilling into the CD. I mean, it sounds like it, but it's really just the drive enclosure being pressed up against the metal of the chair. I just didn't want the drive to go flying off the chair and just completely screw everything up right here. But hey, then I'd be intentionally creating a problem, so it would take the fun out of the failure, right? Anyway, or it would take the because it would be intentional failure and not unintentional failure. Anyways, the story I wanted to tell was when I tried to run Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 on this laptop. Yes, kids, it's true. I think this laptop uses like a Neo Magic Graph or something like that, and or some really generic video card. And I remember that I attempted to play Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 on this laptop probably around 2007 or 2008, like right around the time when I joined YouTube. Well, I joined YouTube in February of 2008. In fact, my channel anniversary is coming up. February 6, 2008 was the day I joined YouTube. Yeah, that's actually this coming Monday. But yeah, when I remember I attempted to play Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 on this laptop, and to my surprise, I actually didn't get an error installing it saying, "Hey, idiot, your video card sucks. You can't play this game on here." Even Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 didn't run too well on this laptop, to be honest. You know, maybe just for grins and giggles, maybe after I get all the drivers on here, maybe I will try to put RCT1 on here just to see how it runs. And hey, I do have a copy of RCT3, so maybe I'll try that just to relive that childhood moment in 2007 when I actually tried to run Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 on the Toshiba Portégé 3500. Because yes, kids, this laptop, I keep referring, that's another thing I've realized. I've been referring to these guys as kids a lot. I guess it's just for dramatic effect or whatever. But anyways, I just noticed that just now. But anyways, yeah, the game was virtually unplayable. It took literally about 10 minutes to load the sandbox mode. And it was so freaking laggy, I think eventually the game just crashed and the computer BSOD'd because it just couldn't, it just like overloaded the GPU and just, the system just BSOD'd, and I was like, oh jeez. But yeah, no, that was quite a night. But I think Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 ran okay on here, because that game came out in '99 and this laptop came out in '02, so, but still, generally speaking, this laptop was not meant for gaming. It was meant for productivity, definitely not for gaming. Okay, computer will reboot in, actually no, the computer will self-destruct in 10 seconds. It should read time until detonation, but yeah. Actually, while this is going, I'll also tell another story about why I think Windows 7 was the last good version of Windows, and personally why I don't use Windows anymore. To be honest, I'm a Mac guy. I know it says Windows XP Professional, but it actually is Tablet PC Edition. You serious, bro? Well, kids, remember when I said it wouldn't be a Ben Clymer video without something going wrong? Yeah, it isn't recognizing the drive now. What the heck? And if I click OK, it's just going to... CD-ROM 0, piece of frickin' crap. See, I tell you, this is literally what happens every time I make a video. Something freaking goes wrong. Wrong button, no, restart. No, frick you. Did the cat unplug the drive or something? I don't know. It can't find the frickin' drive. Piss. If I click cancel, the setup's just going to fail. It's not detecting the CD-ROM drive. And it detected it just... It detected it just fine when I did this, I swear I did this on another unit and it detected the drive just fine. What in the world, man? Alright, well maybe I have to do this. Let's try this. Let's put CD-ROM as the first boot priority. Yeah, it's not detecting the drive. Okay, well, let's try this. All devices. I remember I had to do this on another Toshiba. So let's do this. Let's unplug. I know there's another USB port on the back. So I'm going to unplug this and plug it into the other port. Alright. To save changes, you press end. Yes. Oh, it's gonna boot off the CD, isn't it? Or is it gonna? Okay, no, press any key. Okay, phew. I was gonna say it shouldn't. It shouldn't. It should tell me to press any key to boot, but all right. You gonna work this time? Please? Pretty please? Pretty please with cherries on top? I was gonna say, I think it's actually funny that that missing files error popped up, because, I seem to remember having that exact same problem when I reinstalled XP Tablet PC using the original Toshiba recovery disks on my dad's Portégé 3500. I seem to remember having that exact same problem, and still to this day I remember how I fixed it. I had to go to the BIOS. I can't remember if it was changing the boot order that I had to do, or if I had to, I can't remember if it was that I had to change the boot order, or if it was that I had to set the card bus setting to manual, and then just leave the default setting to, card bus, 16-bit card bus. But, well, when I see the progress bar, let's just put it this way. When I see the progress bar, I'll believe it's actually doing something, okay? Anyways, so what was the story I was telling before? Okay, installing devices. Okay, there we go. Alright, so we just had a little bit of a fluke there. So there's your failure for this video. Let's hope we don't have too much. Actually, let's hope we do, because then the video will be more popular. So let's hope... I'm actually praying for more failure. Come on, pray with me, guys. Pray with me. Don't, you want something else to screw up now, don't you? So... Because I think literally... I don't know what it is, but I think Druaga1 has passed his curse on to me. I seriously think that. Because it just seems in the past few videos, I've had nothing but rotten luck with Windows. Oh, so that's what I was talking about, Windows, and why I thought Windows 7 was the last good version. Well, you know what? Too bad. You're not going to hear that story today. I've decided that I'm going to postpone that story for a video that's more appropriate for having Windows, for ripping on Windows. Because XP, I know I've said in the past that I wasn't a big fan of XP, but in recent days, because I've been playing with a lot of legacy Windows versions in recent days, and I'll be honest, I do like XP. Now, I don't like it as much as Windows 2K, because 2K is faster due to XP's Luna design, or theme rather, but I do like how 2K is just... The thing I like about 2K is it is lightning fast. I had a Sony Vaio PCG 505TR from around 1998 or 99, and I remember I did an experiment. It originally shipped with Windows 98 SE. I don't think I ever made a video on it, honestly, but I don't have the computer anymore. But I remember I installed it. Windows 98 ran perfectly fine. It was the native OS, yada, yada, yada. Then I went to Windows 2K, and Windows 2K ran beautifully on there, even though it only had 64 megs of RAM. It only had like a 133 megahertz Pentium MMX, 64 megs of RAM, which I couldn't upgrade because I couldn't find the proprietary modules needed to upgrade the RAM in that thing. And I think the hard drive was only like 2 or 3, 4 gigabytes, I think. Maybe it was 5, 6 gigabytes, something like that. Nonetheless, I remember Windows 2K ran beautifully on there. Like, it was just lightning fast. You could get anything done that you wanted. You could run any programs you wanted. It was beautiful. So I thought, okay, if I can run 2K this well, what if I install XP with all the service packs, disable the Luna theme and all that John, and just completely... Oh, and we're already at the regional and language screen. Okay, well, let me go ahead and put the information in, and then we'll talk some more. Okay, let me get my... Oh, yeah, I forgot to unplug my headphones. Whoops. Okay. Whoa, okay, yeah, there's more failure for you guys. I'm getting a little too hyper here. Okay. Alright. I'm just getting a good spot here, because I hope my head always blocks the freaking camera. Okay. Type my name here. Okay. So this is, so the key is J83MM JVXY4. And feel free to copy this key if you like. DQT 8K QH92P 4RB4T. Beautiful. Call this Portégé -3500. Go ahead and type in an administrator password. Say continue. Oh, it detected the modem driver, so our area code is 732 in the United States. We do not dial a number to get to an outside line. I don't really care about the modem. Not that it really matters. We are in the Eastern Time Zone. I'll say next. All right, let's see if it gets the network drivers, because again, this is XP era hardware. So let's see if it gets the network drivers, and then we'll kibitz a little bit about. Well, I don't even remember what I wanted to talk about. Honestly, I really don't. Oh, it was about the Sony, right? See, I told you. Even at 25, my freaking memory is going to mush. Anyways, oh yeah, it's asking me what kind of network I've got, so we'll say typical settings. We will not be joining a domain, because I don't think Windows XP would think too highly of joining a server 2K22 DC, or 2K19, well, my 2K19 is no longer a DC. I demoted it when I got my 2K22 server, but anyways, let me talk a little bit about the Sony Vaio PCG505TR. So here's the experiment that I did. So, long story short, I installed Windows. I already told you about installing Windows 2000. So then what I did was I installed Windows XP on it and all the service packs. And I used the Windows XP, a legitimate. No, I did not pirate it. So all you kids and delinquents and little show blows out there, I did not pirate that copy. It was a completely legitimate copy of Windows XP Professional with Service Pack 1. Just like this. Well, this is not legitimate, but who the hell cares? Shh, don't tell Bill. Anyways, the point is, literally what I did was I installed it, I activated it the legit way. Back then, XP's internet activation still worked. And I've heard that if you install Legacy Update, you can still activate, it fixes XP and Vista's internet activation. I think the same goes for Windows 7 too, now that Microsoft has taken the activation servers for Windows 7 offline. But anyways, so what I was going to say is XP RTM ran okay, not nearly as well as Windows 2K, but definitely ran at a decent speed. Even after disabling the Luna theme, it ran okay. Service Pack, actually no, I'm sorry, it wasn't RTM, it was Service Pack 1, I forgot, I didn't use an RTM installation disk. So Service Pack 1 was fine. Service Pack 2, everything went to shit. Because of the bloat, the security center, all the new drivers that Service Pack 2 introduces, it just collapsed. That system was just beseeching me for mercy. Just literally, it was grinding as bad. The hard drive was grinding just like the optical drive is. Well, because it's not because it was against a metal chair support. That system just did not like Windows XP or post Service Pack 2 XP is what I was trying to say. So it didn't like that. And what happened was, I remember I literally then, being a moron, I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to Service Pack 3. Big mistake. Because Service Pack 3 screwed that system up more than a can of sardines. I'm not kidding. Literally, Service Pack 3 screwed that system up so badly, I ended up having to downgrade back to Windows 98 SE. I wanted to go to 2K, honestly, but, it was but, and even though I can't stand Windows 98, I know I get a lot of hate for saying that. I was never a fan of Windows 98. I really wasn't. Honestly, if you want me to use Windows 9X, sit me in front of a computer running Windows Me. Yes, I said that. Shoot me, stab me, fight me in the streets, but yes, I much prefer Windows Me over Windows 98. Now, granted, I was only a toddler when Windows 98 came out, but we did use Windows 98 when I was in like kindergarten, first grade, and up until third grade, which would have been around '06, around the time Windows 98 when Windows 98 was officially laid to rest by the good folks in Redmond. We used Windows 98 on our school computers at the elementary school I went to after my parents moved to Florida. So basically, I remember but I just had really bad memories of Windows 98. They were, in fact, I actually may have, I don't remember the exact models, but they were either the older Dimensions or the Dimension XPS models, and they look kind of like a Dimension XPS T450 that I did a video on, and which I still have, by the way, in my collection. In fact, I can't move I'll turn the camera around. It's literally right there. That's the back of it, but that's my Dimension XPS T450. But, that was literally what the computers looked like in elementary and middle school. And they ran Windows 98, second edition. I think some of them were actually first edition. But, I just remember having just really rancid memories of Windows 98. Just everything crashed. They were slow, and these are like Pentium 2 machines. Like these weren't. This was period correct hardware for Windows 98, and the kids, they had pretty strict. They had like semantic antivirus software on there, and our IT administrator was pretty stringent on like not installing malware and whatnot. And they kept those. He maintained them pretty well. But I remember Windows 98. It wasn't so much. It was somewhat slow. But I also remember just having problems with it connecting to an NTDC. I remember it having problems with, programs like Accelerated Reader, or AR as we called it, student. I remember it having, the most common error message I remember on Windows 98, and yes, I thought the police were going to show up the first time I saw this error message, was, you guessed it, the reason Bill Gates was arrested in 1977. Because he performed an illegal operation. Yep. Yeah, if I had a nickel for every single time I saw that error message on Windows 95 or 98, I'd probably be a billionaire by now. I'd be as rich as Jeff Bezos by now. But yeah, long story short, with Windows 98, everything freaking crashed. I had the general protection. I saw the general protection full error countless times, like more times than there are stars in the cosmos. Okay, like that's literally how often programs would crash on Windows 98. Now again, maybe you just call it a bad experience, maybe because it was the school computers, maybe the computers were cursed. I don't know. But I had other Windows 98 machines that I had the exact same problem on. So I'm sorry, Windows 98. I Windows 90 hate you. Yes, go ahead and dislike the video and, post hate comments. Let the hate comments commence. But I do not like Windows 98. I never did. And I didn't really use 95 that much. I mean, 95 was the first OS I used because, for those who don't know, I was born in 1997. Late 97. So basically I had limited exposure to 95. 95 was the OS that was on my parents' first computer when I was born and when we lived in West Orange and whatnot. But I just don't really have too many memories of Windows 95, like other YouTubers like Billy Core and B Bishop PCM and V Westlife. I just don't have those kind of memories because I'm just so much younger. Sorry to make these guys feel old. But yeah. As far as that, I mean, I remember Windows 98 vividly, which I hated, as I just stated. And I know I'm going on a rhyme scheme here, but anyways. never really used Windows 2K, although my dad used it on his office computer. Windows NT 4.0 I didn't even know existed until around 2008 or 9, because I had never heard of the OS until about that point in time. But out of all the operating systems that I've used, Windows, that is, because I was a Windows fanboy for the longest time before switching to Mac about 7 years ago after I graduated high school. The most memorable versions of Windows to me are XP, because my Dell Dimension 4600C ran XP. Windows Vista, because the second desktop I own, the Dell Inspiron 530S, shipped with Vista, and the Toshiba Satellite A305 S6905 was a native Vista machine too. And I'm also, that's another OS I defend, is Windows Vista. I like Vista. In fact, I kind of like Vista better than XP. Not that I hated XP, but, you know. And then Windows 7 was amazing. I mean, but then after Windows 7, I haven't liked Windows since. I never liked the Metro crap. I never liked the ads. I never liked, this, Windows as a service. I never liked that. And that's personally why I stopped using Windows altogether about 7 years ago and switched to Mac. And also on my but I still have PCs, but if I do use Windows, it's Windows 7 or earlier. I never know, in fact 8 recently lost support last month, and no one gave a rat's ass about it. It was literally like the forgotten Windows version that no one gave a shit about. And then there was, 10 is, I never liked 10, I thought it was buggy and unstable, much like Windows 98. And and 11 just has absurd system requirements, and it's just a whole conglomerate of, the problems Windows has had and Microsoft's misdeeds since around the time of Windows XP, because to me, I would say Microsoft has been losing its composure since around the release of Windows, I want to say 8, just to be safe, because XP was good, obviously. Vista, a lot of people hated, but once you install Service Pack 1, it's not bad. 7 was awesome, but then 8 came out, and ever since then, it's been nothing but hate. So yeah, I just haven't liked Windows since the release of Windows 8. I just haven't. I've always been very pessimistic about it, and honestly, I just don't think Microsoft is what it was when I was growing up. I'm sorry to say that, and I'm sorry if I'm offending people, but I just think Microsoft has changed for the worse. And even my coworkers at work are saying the same thing, and all my tech friends are saying the exact same thing. So, but I am starting to play with Linux too. I recently installed Pop! OS on my ThinkPad X200 tablet, which will be featured in a future video, hopefully. And yeah, Pop! OS is something I've always wanted to play more with Linux. I know I've touched on Linux on my channel in the past, as early as 2009, when I installed, Ubuntu 8 on the same laptop you see, not the same model of laptop you see here, I should say. But yeah, I mean, it really, unfortunately at this point, I've jumped ship in terms of Windows. If I'm going to use Windows, if I need Windows to run like old games that won't run under Wine on Linux, I'll just spin myself up a Windows XP box and just, use XP, or if it needs 9X, I'll just use Windows Me. Or if I really need that real mode DOS emulation, which usually I don't, but in very rare cases I do, sigh, I'll use Windows 98. But yeah, those are really the three. And or if it's just like, even if it's a more modern game that requires it, that runs better on Windows Vista or Windows 7, I'll just use Windows Vista. Yeah, I'm a scammer now. I'll just use Windows Vista or Windows 7. So, but I'm sorry, Bill. I can't use your products anymore. Your company has gone down the toilet, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, old friend. I salute you. Anyways, I saluted Bill just as the installation finished. All right, so we got past the error. Okay, that was good. Okay, and I'm amazed I still remember how to do that. But yeah, as you know, progress bar time is story time with Ben when we're installing operating systems. So, yeah, please don't boot off the CD, and please tell me this is actually tablet PC edition and not professional. Although it would have rejected, yeah, it is, okay. I was gonna say, it probably would have rejected the product key had, if it were for the wrong edition, so, okay. Windows XP. Yeah, how many times have you installed? You know, I think Windows XP is like isn't it like the most installed operating system of all the versions of Windows? Oh, I'll be quiet because, turn the volume up, your favorite part. I'm already tapping my feet. Can you hear? Okay. Yeah, the part about installing Windows XP that I always liked when you have the proper audio drivers on the disk is hearing that famous title.wma theme. Aw, yeah. Alright. Let's say next. It's probably going to check my internet connectivity, which I'm not connected to the internet. Yeah, ready to activate Windows. Yeah, so here's why we're gonna be a little bit naughty. I think a lot of people know why. But we're gonna go ahead and type my name, click next. I don't want to click finish. I want to listen to the awesome welcome music. Do I really have to? Oh! Well, okay. I guess that's telling me click finish or die. So there we go. The fact that the music just glitched out on me there. Ugh. Got some flatulence coming out of that speaker. I want music, not flatulence. There we go. Alright. Welcome to Windows XP. I know I stole Elmo 3's little intro there, but yeah, we definitely have tablet PC. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention? We're going to see something that you don't normally see on brand new tablet PC installations. Yep, I forgot. Welcome to tablet computing! Yes, we have a tutorial here, as Vine Sauce Joel would say, because, yeah, I forgot, it gives you this little tutorial. And yes, we do have the proper touchscreen tablet drivers. Yes, I'm using the pen that came with my tablet computer. In this overview, you will learn how to optimize your tablet computing experience, discover how to use a tablet computer pen, learn how to use your tablet computer without a keyboard or mouse. Mind blown, it's 2002 all over again. Alright, click start here. So basically this just it just treats you like a complete novice. It tells you how to use, it asks you questions like, are you left or right-handed? I am right-handed. I do have a button on my pen, so we'll say yes. Click next. It tells you how to use the pen instead of the mouse. Again, pause if you want to actually read this. And then it actually has you practice here. Let's actually click show me. I want to see what this does. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, it's Internet Explorer 6. Oh, God. Burn it with fire. Oh, and now the pen's not working. Great. Oh, there we go. Okay. I can't click the close button. Okay, well, I'll just click it with the mouse then. With the touchpad. Alright, let's do this. Hold the screen steady. Uh-oh. Hit you. Do we have a dead spot on the touchscreen? We may have a dead digitizer areas. I can't tap the door. I can't tap the door. I think the digitizer doesn't respond in this area. I want to double tap the door. Can you please let me? Okay, fine, I'll just click it then. Fine, I'll double click it. Now I can't move the touchpad either. What in the world, man? There, okay. I passed, I cheated. Shh, don't tell anybody. Alright. Okay, can I tap the light bulb at least? Nope. Alright, fine. I'll cheat again. Well, you're supposed to do this with the pen. You're supposed to tap and hold like this, but to right-click, but for some reason my digitizer is giving me grief here. It tells you about the input panel. Oh, that's nice. They have the silver theme enabled. I guess, I know some OEMs would enable the silver theme. Outlook Express, anyone remember that? Good morning, hello, and welcome to all. Yep, not going to waste my time here. What you just learned? I don't care. I guess I could view an animated tour, but you know what? Gonna have to save that for later. And there's the tablet PC input panel. Yeah, we've got a dead spot here on the touch screen because I cannot move the mouse into that area. You can see it just skips. Well, maybe if I adjust the resolution, that might help. Let's see. I don't know. I don't think so. It's probably just a dead digitizer area. Yeah, the max resolution of this display is 1024 by 768. So let me just do get a better resolution here. What is going on with this? Urgh. Yeah, this whole center section is completely dead. There's like a whole row of just dead space in the middle here. Yikes. But that was ultimately what happened with my dad's Portégé 3500, for those who don't know, was the digitizer. That's why I had to crack it open, because I was attempting to replace the digitizer, and I ended up committing murder on this thing, being homicidal towards this thing. But I swear I will not let that happen with this computer. Anyways, so now, what's the next? That's right, we gotta activate Windows. But guess what? Guess who can't? Because guess who doesn't have a valid activation key? Guess who? But we're gonna cheat. We're gonna cheat. And here's how we do it. Here's how we do it, kids. This is how we give Bill Gates the finger. This is literally how we give old Bill the finger. First of all, we plug in our, step one, plug in USB flash drive. Oh, I forgot. This flash drive makes you reboot, doesn't it? It's probably gonna make me reboot the computer. I forgot. This frickin' thing always makes me reboot with this stupid... This is a flash drive from 2008 for those who don't know, but because of this stupid cruiser application, it makes me restart the frickin' computer! And I think it just literally told me I had to restart the computer. I think that's what that message just said, was you have to restart your computer. Mother of the Irish. Anyways, well, okay, fine. Fine, Windows, fine. I'll restart my computer. To make you happy, I'll restart my computer. Because that's the motto, right? Keep calm and restart your computer. Okay, fine. Restart. Oh, you know what I just realized? That clicking is not the hard drive. It's the fan. There's something stuck in the frick. Yes, it's not the fan, it's the frick. That's my term for fan. Okay. Yep, this is the one. Okay. I'm gonna run this guy. Press enter. Boom! Fuck you, Bill. Yep. So just like that, we cheated Windows activation. We cheated Windows activation just like that. It's called anti-WPA3. Look it up, kids. Alright, can we reboot this time? Or are you going to be a pain in my ass this time? Let's see. There we go. Okay. Yeah, because you do have to reboot for the anti-WPA to take effect, but basically after you reboot, Windows should be activated. I don't even know what I'm trying to do here. Anyways. Oh yeah, and I forgot to fix that. Alright, so... Alright, so we're going to boot back into Windows here. Windows XP Tablet PC Edition. What time is it? Holy smokes, it's already 11:30. I didn't even realize. I've spent literally almost 2 hours working on this computer. Alright. Okay, kids. Well, there's a few more things we can do. View available wireless networks. Wait, really? Oh, it's not seeing any wireless networks. But it got the Wi-Fi driver right off the disk. That's pretty impressive, actually. I didn't realize it. I thought that was the Ethernet, because normally when it's Wi-Fi, it displays only one monitor down there as the icon. I guess pre-Service Pack 2 does that? Maybe is that a pre-service? That must be a pre-Service Pack 2 thing. Anyways, there's your Windows XP Tablet PC Edition, Service Pack 1, Pentium 3 Mobile, 1.3 gigahertz, 3 gigahertz, excuse me, gigabyte of RAM. And there it is. Whoa. Alright, so other than the couple hiccups we had during the installer, very minor hiccups, this is a win. But you know what? We're not done yet. Because I could just show you that we have a 30 gigabyte hard drive, but we need to end this off the right way. So here's what we're going to do. Let's go to Windows Journal. Yep, if there's one application that defines Windows XP Tablet PC Edition, it would be Windows Journal. Turn my light back on here. And we're going to use this computer the way my father would have wanted me to. Actually, my dad's not dead. He's just almost 65 years old. Sorry, Dad. Didn't mean to make you feel old. And no, I don't have the driver for the portrait rotation. Although I guess you could make up a compound word there. Alright. Try to get the best angle here. I'll try to do this as best I can. Yep, there's dead space here. Yeah, look at that. The digitizer completely cuts out in the middle there. There's just a whole bunch of dead space right there. So, but there. That's what we used to do on our 4-function calculators back in math classes. We'd write D-E-A-D to spell dead because, you can do variables on there. Anyways. The last thing I'll show, oh, and I can't click no because the digitizer's screwed up. Right. Okay, well, got to put this back into laptop mode. Whoops. Yeah, I forgot about that. I can't click no because because the digitizer's all messed up. Ah, boy. But that is, just like I said, that is a rather common problem. Why does that look all washed out? Let me just shut off my light here. Oh, it's because the windows are open. I got to stand in front of the camera here. But basically, just go ahead and open up a WordPad document here. So basically, this is the tablet PC input panel. You know what? Let me close the window because you know why? There's just way too much glare. There wasn't this much glare when I was installing Windows, but you know what? Let me just close the window and see if that makes it a little bit better. Or close the window blinds, rather. I got to do the other one too, apparently. Okay. Let's see if that's better. Yep, okay, that's better. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to show, I won't even bother using the pen because, well, we've got a partially dead digitizer here. But basically you can tap letters and you can type in what you want. So you can type in like farts or something like that, or if you want to be LGR. Or with handwriting recognition, I shouldn't have put the pen away, you can go to the writing pad here and it says write your words like this. So if I get the pen out, if I can get the pen out, there we go. Go ahead and write it. Oh, because I wasn't typing into anything. Yeah, it would help if I actually typed into something. There we go. You probably can't see what it just typed, but there you go. LGR style. We're ending the video LGR style. Basically, that's the writing pad. That's the handwriting recognition. In Windows XP Tablet PC Edition, Service Pack 1. Anyways, we'll mess around with this laptop a little bit later, because there's definitely more I want to do with it. It's a shame that the digitizer is giving me grief, but it's all right. I'll find a working digitizer, and we'll get this fully functional again. Anyways, this video has gone on long enough. Anyways, happy February. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. They help out a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys not too far in the future. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. And the last thing we're going to do is pick a background. The same background I had before the hard drive died. Win.